So now we're going to move on to the matchup against Florida. And we kind of talked about it some with their offense, a lot of motion, a lot of gadgetry. There's our linebackers, again, really our entire defense. Your eyes have to be in the right spot. You have to play disciplined football. And, again, I think that's probably why Arion Carter won't be starting. But I do think that he's going to be a lot more ready for this game in our entire team as a whole for this game against Florida than we were last week. What did you see out of Florida's offense?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, a lot of misdirection, which kind of scares me a little bit with Carter and Herring.
Herring too, yeah.
That seems to kind of get him. So, I mean, I am concerned. I'm watching that early. But, I mean, I think they're a much better team than kind of people tried to write them off as after week one. I think they're a lot better than that. I think week one, you go back, you look, I mean, they outgained Utah. I think it was like 270, like 360. They had more yards. Didn't run the ball well, but I think that it was a lot of kind of just miscues, just small things that they corrected with coaching.
Yeah,
looked much better against McNeese State, which I know competition's a step down, but they just looked much better. They have some good athletes on the perimeter. Number one, I think
Ricky Pearson.
Yeah, Pearson.
He's definitely their best receiver.
Yeah.
Try to get it to him a lot.
Yeah,
he's legit. They got some good-looking running backs, ETN, and then number 2, I forget his name. The quarterback, he seems to me kind of like a check-down guy, but
for sure.
So I'm not gonna work in our favor. But I mean, overall, I mean, they look like a typical Florida team. I think they'll got to come ready to play. It's not going to be an easy walk-in win type of game.
No. I mean, it's looking like it's going to be an absolute dogfight now. I think it's going to be a lot. I don't know what the spread is now.
7. It was
7?
6.5 for them.
It's going to be a close game. Yeah, it's going to be close. Go ahead.
I mean, when they played against Utah, I saw lots of defense issues about Florida. It was like a little, like a slam looking route, like a slam, it's like a dig route. And like he ran like all the way up the field. It was like 4 defenders like boxed like all around him, like this and this and this. And like somehow he still made the catch and
wow.
I mean that's definitely going to be a big issue.
I mean that's something you touched on earlier is they don't play deep ball very well.
So they most definitely don't. And we're going to get to defense in just a second. But I did want to touch on some of the strong points, and we kind of talked about it with their offense. Number one, I think that scheme, I think they've got a really good scheme. One of the things that we noticed just in watching film is that it's hard to get a beat on what they like to do. Now, we did pick up that they like to run to the tight end side a lot, especially in motion plays. Whenever you see motion, if it's a running situation, they're pretty much always, like 90% of the time, they're running it to that tight end side. So that's pretty much all that we saw. We know the coaching staff will have more beats on it, but their plays look the same, and they can run 10, 15 different plays out of the exact same everything. Everything looks the exact same. So.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I like what they try to do offensively. A lot of motions, a lot of misdirections, and it seems like pretty much every play has an RPO element. He could hand it, he could throw it. I just think if they're more dynamic at quarterback, I think they'd be a lot tougher to stop.
Yeah,
I think we should be fine, but they look much better week 2 than they did week 1.
They most definitely did. I don't think that they're very strong on the offensive line. I think that they've got some pretty solid athletes. Their running backs, and like you said, that number 1, probably their best athletes. They're supposedly got some good freshmen. I'm not worried about freshmen too much, especially it doesn't matter where it's at. I'm just not worried about it. I think that we can beat them. I know that Tim Banks is going to have a good game plan, and we've got some dogs, especially up front and in different spots. So they may hit us on a couple of plays, but as you said, that quarterback, he doesn't have a very strong arm. He's not a deep passer. He wants to check it down. A lot of middle of the field stuff and, throwing it out to the flats. So as long as we come up, wrap up, make good tackles, and be in the correct position, we're going to be just fine. Yeah. Now, on defense, something that we picked up with them is that they like to bring pressure from that nickel spot, especially in passing downs. If it's third and medium, something like that, you'll see a cover 2 look, a different cover 2 looks, pressure, whether it's stunts or, it's blitzes, but they like to bring it from the outside. So I think that we can exploit that very, very heavily. This need for Joe Milton and the entire offense to be able to pick up on it, know what they're doing, and we will fight. People will be open.
Yeah, I agree, man. And so far, Joe's done a pretty good job of identifying stuff pre-snap.
Yeah,
which is something I've been huge on since Garantano, because he seemed to not be able to pre-snap see stuff So I'm always looking for that for my quarterbacks. And Joe's been doing a good job so far. Now, you expect Florida to kind of be obviously another level.
Yeah.
And maybe disguise things a little better. But that comes with film study and, knowing the situation. And, I mean, Joe, he seems in control of that offense. So I expect him to be able to get us lined up, ready to go. But overall, I think their defense is going back to their defense. I mean, they got some good-looking athletes.
Yeah.
D-line looks fast and physical. Number one's a guy that popped out to us on film.
Yep.
Gets after the passer. Of course, I got that big 21, like 400-pound guy in the middle. Forget his name.
Yeah, I don't remember his name either.
I saw something like he squatted like 750 or something
Sheesh.
crazy.
Yeah, man. But you know what, though? I've been seeing him getting blocked a lot.
Yeah, he's not as good as he looks.
They have to be careful throwing him out there against this offense. Whenever we're going fast,
He's gonna get tired
up
really
tempo,
easily.
he's going to be gassed.
We're going to come right at him.
Yeah, so I mean, he's probably not going to see the field very much. We'll probably see him more in red zone situations because we like to slow it down there. And, obviously we can run the ball there too. But, I mean, man, if we can somehow just catch them with him on the daggone field, I mean, it's pedal to the metal.
Yeah,
and it's, yes. I mean, just keep on going.
Yeah.
So, I please put his big old butt out there.
Yeah.
Because we're going right at him.
Yeah,
we're going to give him 2-3 plays. We running right at his big old behind.
He's going to tap out for the whole game. He'll be burnt for the whole game.
Yeah.
One series, he'll be done.
Yeah. And then, too, man, they're, I think that, I was going to say, I don't think that they do a good job in pass coverage down the field. I've seen a lot of people running wide open.
Yeah, I saw it versus Utah.
Yeah.
First play of the game, ran that post route.
Yeah, man. Double moves kill them. So, and we do a great job with those double moves.
Those when they were split out and the slot one's like a slant and go.
Yeah.
That's always
Sluggo. Yeah, the old Sluggo.
The only thing that concerns me is we haven't shown this season that we can really hit a deep ball yet. So we're gonna have to show we can do it.
You have to expect that we will be able to do it this game, and we kind of were going back and forth on, is Dante Thornton? Has he been starting or was it Squirrel? I'm not sure, but I would definitely say to start this game off, Squirrel needs to be starting. Yeah, because he just got to get himself together mentally, and then once he gets there, I think we can pull him in.
Yeah, I think he needs that first big play to kind of get his confidence and say, hey, I can play in the SEC. Like you said, I do belong here. You know what I mean? But Squirrel, I'll definitely start with him and. He's going to be open. I mean, all these guys, that's the thing. Every game we've had guys open, it's just been for whatever reason.
Miscues or overthrows.
Something always seems to mess up. But this week, I know everyone's going to be so dialed in and so sharp. So I'm really looking forward to this offense just exploding.
Do you think is Cooper back this week?
Yeah, well, he's supposed to be. We'll see. Yeah.
So I'm anxious to see what the offense looks like with him. I got a feeling. It's not going to really be an reacclimation. I think it's going to be, as soon as he gets in, this thing's going to just go a whole nother level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Well, and then that's something, too, that we know just from playing ball for so much time. Anytime that you do miss some time from playing, you just come in and pick up where you left off. Like, I missed an entire season one time, and I was able to come back, and it was just like, I was still in game shape and everything else. Obviously, he's playing on that, he's playing in the trenches. But even still, like, once you played for so long, you don't really need, like, you can miss time and you can pick it back up.
And sometimes you even pick it up at a higher level because you've watched other guys and you just kind of get your mental on a different level. So. You know what I mean? So,
I think another big thing is they're playing the swamp, obviously. So the crowd noise. Last year when they were at Georgia, there was a lot of false starts, a lot of penalties. So it's gonna be interesting to see how Heupel has these guys ready. See if they're gonna be disciplined. So I think that's another big. That's another big thing because it's gonna be loud in there. Yeah. See how I think that's Joe's really first game versus a big time. Crowd
on the road.
Yeah. Starting wise, it probably is. But like you said, he doesn't lose in Florida. Yeah, he don't lose in the state of Florida.
Hey, that's a great. But you know what? Both of those great points because we haven't won there in however long. So that's the X factor you can't ignore.
Yeah. But I feel confident. In our fronts versus their fronts, both sides of the ball. I feel like we're just going to dominate. Maybe not for sometimes they're going to make plays, but for the most part, we're going to be very dominant, and that's what football games are won at. I think we're going to outcoach them. We're going to have our guys ready to play. So looking forward to a big win.
If y'all can have score prediction, what would y'all say?
I don't even want to do that yet, but we'll get to that later on in this week. But I will say this for any Tennessee fan that is going down there, man, y'all stay together, y'all look out for one another because it could be a close game, it could get ugly. You got to be careful getting up out of there, but let's make sure that we're loud, okay? We have got to be loud, hydrate, man, and let's get ready to go down to the swamp, man, and blow these daggone guys out.
Man. I'm most excited to see if this D-line's as legit as they've looked. It's their first real test. That's the first thing I'm going to be looking at is that D-line against their O-line.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're going to see how everything pans out.